We are live.
Yeah.
We made it.
Hey.
Hi. So welcome everyone, and welcome Grace Douglas, Christine McCarthy, and Gary Douglas, and also Betsy, who's here and helping us. So grateful for that. Welcome to our first worldwide online book launch. Is it? Yes, and it is. So, and the book that is getting launched today by Access Consciousness Publishing is The Lady. And I'm so super happy and I'm so super excited actually, because I can just say personally from me, I waited so long for this book. And when I heard now it's out there, I screamed and jumped around and was just so happy. And thank you all for making this possible. And Christine McCarthy and Grace Douglas are both the directors of Access Consciousness Publishing. So welcome both. And yeah, tell us a little bit about this whole process of how until this book got published.
Christine.
So this has been one of those books that was formed informationally from a telecall that Gary did. And we took a lot of the information from it and created a really great book, kind of like a handbook for different ways in which you can be a lady in the world and how, what kind of a different effect that can have for people. And Grace and I worked for, I think 1.5 years or 2 years on it, between getting it edited and then, finding the perfect cover for it. So we had a lot of fun and we're very proud of the book and all of the wonderful information that Gary has to share with us. So I know there's some pieces that, some definitions in there that Grace and I talked about earlier that we can read for you too, to give you a sense for what is contained in the book that's a true invitation to something different.
Yeah.
Grace?
I mean, I think Christine said it all. It's such a cool book because it's really a lot of information that's packed into something so small that's very like what Gary does in class and everything. It's kind of amazing to read like one page and see how much either you do that or you don't do it. And it was an amazing telecall to listen to if you haven't, but the book really summarizes it so succinctly that I love it. I think it's a great read and it's an easy book to enjoy for men and women. Actually, I don't think that it's limited, even though it's called The Lady. It kind of gives you a way to function in the world that's different, and a lot of it can be applied to more than just women.
Yeah. Thank you. So I had the great pleasure, because you were so kind and you already sent me that book, right, to read it and to go through it a little bit. And I loved it because for me I have all the other books here and I read them all, but the way how this book got created, it is different from the others. It is not like in all the other books. It's always like this question and answer thing. And here you have chosen something else, like a more fluent way to it. And I so much love that. How was that? How did you change that?
It was great. It was a lot of work, honestly, but it was what Christine and I really wanted to do, what we set out to create with our books moving forward, really was taking it out of the conversational and making it more like an actual book. So I find it really difficult personally to read the conversations because you ping pong between people, and often it's multiple people, not just my dad, Gary, hi, and a class participant, but even Dane or whoever is writing the book. So it can be 4 different people adding to a conversation, and instead of making it just showing the broken down pieces, we wanted it to be a more global experience.
And while I was reading it, I couldn't really, I mean, it's not a huge and thick book, right? But reading it took really a long time for me because every sentence, every word, and the energy that is behind it is so full of what possibilities of everything. So how is the book for you? What has the book changed for you, or what awarenesses did you get?
Well, I think Christine and I, going through the edits and creating that flow, we both kept going, oh my God, how much I do that or how much I don't do that. And I think we started implementing it a little bit in our lives. At least I did. I don't know, Team Christine, did you?
Yes, I agree. I mean, there are times where I'm like, I need to take a break, Grace, because my head hurts.
Sometimes we would go through like the edits for 2 pages and be like,
oh my God.
oh my God. we have to reread that, or we have to come back to it another time. Yeah. And so it was like the editing process ended up taking us longer because I think we went through the book and then we went through the book again and then we had more notes, and it was a fun process though.
Yeah. What I personally love about the book that I think is unique about it is the homework and the home play of like watching certain movies that are older and show a different way of being a lady and how you can interact with men too. That was really interesting to me. So there's reading it, and then also there's some what movies give you energy in a way that a book doesn't. So it incorporates the visual piece too. So I thought that was really fun. And I still watch those movies because they're really awesome.
Christine's also really good at implementing those things with men. I watch her do it all the time.
Thank you.
When I started reading it, it was like, yeah, there was a lady like in society on this planet. There was the image of a lady, like a noble woman, a lady that was respected and like everything that a lady seems to be. And then suddenly something happened in history and we stopped being ladies and chose to be women. And now when I read it, it was like, oh, and now it's like the lady arises like a phoenix again. So I really could see that image. Is it the same for you? Like the lady arises, something like that?
Yeah, I think that it really paints the picture, especially with the movies like Christine was saying, where people have changed so much in how they function. And, but being a lady doesn't exclude being a woman, and being a woman doesn't exclude being a lady. There's actually a part of the book that I wanted to share. Let me see if I can find it real quick.
Yes,
I should have probably made a PDF or something. So part of the book says ladies of old had a completely different way of being in the world. They always knew who they were and that they were in charge. But they also knew how to receive, and they didn't feel the need to emasculate men or prove they were equal or better than men. And I think that kind of sums up the entire point of the book and of the telecall ultimately. It was a long process, but women have the power to kind of determine how everything goes.
Christine, do you have a favorite part too?
Oh,
share here.
No, you know what, I didn't really. I mean, I think, like I said before, the favorite part was a lot of the movie watching and just seeing things from a different perspective. That was really helpful for me. Like It Happened One Night was one of the movies that suggested. And it was just fun to watch, because you do get a different point of view from a movie than reading a book, as I said earlier too. So, but I don't know, do we want to ask Gary a question?
Our special guest, Gary Douglas.
Dad, what's it like being a lady for you?
Well, it's like, the thing is, my mother was a lady. She was a woman, she was a lady, but she was never anti-man. And the thing that occurred, that it wasn't that, it became, lady or woman. It became lady or anti-man. And it's like so much of what occurred with women's liberation was becoming anti-man instead of becoming a lady, instead of becoming a great woman. They became an anti-man woman. And it's like, to be anti-man does not create your future. And it's like, and it's harder for you to receive when you're anti-man. It's like, to truly receive, you have to be willing to be the woman you are, the lady you are, and manipulate gently and easily to get men to do everything you want to do.
I like that. And also a part that I liked a lot in the book was, was, Gary, are you continuing and I'm just not hearing you? Is that me?
No. You can't hear me?
Yeah. Now I can hear you again.
Okay. All right, so Susie was saying she could hear me, so I assumed everybody could. Sorry. So you got to get that, it's like a lady can use the subtlest of movements to get the massive amounts of change she desires. A woman has to work hard to get the change she desires. A lady can take a cow and work on it and get men to come running. A woman has to work hard to prove that she's equal to a man. Why would you want to be equal when you're already superior, is what I want to know.
Oh, I like that. Can you say more to that, please, Gary?
Yeah, so the thing is, as a lady, you're not equal to a man, nor are you less than a man. You are, in your own right, you. And when you are that, then you can get anything you want by just being who you are. And it's like, it's a whole different universe. But a lady never has to prove anything. A lady gets to choose everything.
Wow. Wow. And there was also a part that I would like to add in the book, and I wrote it. It's like, a lady is willing to ask questions and have awareness, and a woman is only willing to have conclusions.
Yeah, she's trying to be like a man. See, men were taught to conclude always and come to a conclusion and find a solution. And women were always great at asking questions, and they were always willing to be in the question, because from their point of view, it's like, how am I going to get this guy to do everything I really want? The basic point of view. And I watched my mother do amazing stuff. My father would he would bend over backwards to get my mom what she wanted. He would do anything for her. And she always had the best clothes, and she was always the best dressed, and she was always the kindest. And she was, it's like, she was just an amazing woman. And it's like, I grew up in the end of the Depression, and she was functioning as though we were still in a depression. And yet she never made it look like we had less, only like we could have more. Different reality.
So there's a piece in the book that I want to read and then ask you a question about. So it's the elegance of needlessness. And it says, a lady doesn't need anything. She has what I call the elegance of needlessness. It's one of her key attributes.
Yeah. Because it's like, she doesn't do it because she needs it. She does it because she'd like it. It would make me happy if you were happy. It's a different point of view than you need to be happy. You're bugging the shit out of me because you're not happy enough. I see more women doing, you're bugging the shit out of me because you're not as happy as I want you to be. And I see women going, okay, what can I do to create more happiness here? Or what can we have that would make all of us happier? A lady functions from the kingdom of we. A A woman functions from the kingdom of me. A woman will always have to give herself up for a man, and a lady never gives herself up for anyone, man or woman.
I like that a lot. Not giving yourself up for anyone or anything.
Correct. The whole
And
different
yeah.
function.
Can you say that one more time? I just bubbled. Sorry.
Nope, I thought you said it perfectly. Thank you.
Thank you. So, and this book is full of the scams from Gary. Like he just said a few things here, and I can sense it changes my whole reality right now. And yeah, and the book is just like even going deeper into it and more. So I would like to say thank you. Thank you for this. Thank you for this book. And also as a gentleman that you be, Gary, to empower us in a such kind way to step up to be the ladies that we truly are again. I so much adore this about you. Thank you, thank you, thank you.
Thank you. I like women, and I like their feminine ways. I like the feminine. And it's like, and you know, it's like, I don't want to have a man that's being feminine with me. I don't want to have a woman being masculine with me. I want them to be the feminine they are and enjoy every friggin' minute of it. But so will I.
Wow.
Okay, I've said enough. And I think Christine and Grace have done a miraculous job with this. I'm very thrilled. And thank
Yes.
you for the gift you are, because you are ladies of magnitude.
Thank you.
you.
So true. Thank you. Thank you so much. So is there anything else that you would like to ask or add? Grace, Christine, Gary. So then let me ask a question like, where can people get the book, and will it be translated very soon, and all these normal questions like that people have in their life?
We were just joking about how everyone was going to be like, can you translate it? And we're like, in 2025. There are so many. I'm sure, yes, we will translate it.
Definitely. Yeah.
I mean,
You can buy it.
done an amazing job of translating so many of our books. And we're the only company I know that works to translate their books into as many languages as possible. Few companies do that. But it's like, you know, we don't have somebody backing us. We don't have Google billions or anything like that. So we do it all ourselves. And it's like, and these ladies have done an amazing job of making this a successful business. And I'm very grateful, because it wasn't successful financially for a long time.
Well, thank you. We feel very fortunate to do this, and we enjoy it a lot. So
I'm so glad, because without you, this thing wouldn't happen. Thank you.
thank you. So yes, Fatma, we will translate, and you can buy it on Amazon and in the Access shop. I think it should be up.
Yep. And it's also available in an ebook too on Kindle and Kobo, if you prefer that sort of format. Yeah, you can.
And I would even suggest buy it in bulk, ladies and gentlemen, and gift it to your mom and to your friends, and wherever you go, gift it to people, because it's really a phenomenal book. So thank you so much one more time. And yeah, thank you for this book launch. And yeah, see you all soon.
Thank you.
Thank you. Bye.
Bye.
Bye. Thank you.